I look freaking amazing. I'm just gonna say that. Hell yeah. Yeah, I have the money. Let's do this. So yeah, let's go. Eventually, my feet lead me to the park. It's already dark outside. The air is cold and it's snowing. I sit down on one of the benches to collect my thoughts, try not to pay any attention to my shivering. What did I do? What did I do? I yelled at Neil's father in front of everyone, but he just made me so mad. I couldn't stand it. The way he talked about me being some kind of gold digger, and the way he talked about Neil. Seeing Neil there, so defenseless and defeated, who in their right mind could have kept their mouth shut? Neil is a flawed person, and there's more vile words coming out of his mouth than anything positive. But fundamentally, he's not a bad person. He definitely did not deserve to have his father to talk to him like that. There's no way I could have kept my mouth shut after seeing someone I care for being abused like that. I had to speak up. But now, I'm sure I pretty much ruined everything. Neil is obviously going to side with his father. After all, he didn't speak up. Why am I sitting here, hoping he'd stand up for himself? My phone buzzes, making me jump in my seat. Who is it? Where are you right now? Oh, I sit there with the phone in my hand, contemplating whether or not to tell him. Should I even reply? I sort of stormed out of there and left them all behind, and Neil for sure is going to yell at me. Or something along those lines. I'm unsure of everything right now, even of my own feelings. They're a bit of a mess right now. At the park. Of course I would respond. That's just like me. Wait there. I'm coming. Oh great, His Majesty is coming over and rain down his wrath upon me. Who knows what kind of speech he has prepared to scold for yelling at his father. I'm ready for it. I bury my face into my hands. Oh god, I yell at a really powerful figure and I don't give a fuck. Sitting all alone at the park. They really sink in, the things I've said. Yet, on the other hand, I'm also kind of proud I'd said them. Obviously, I had a strong urge I couldn't control when I saw Neil, powerless like that. The urge to stand up for him was too great, and I entirely lost it when Marcus started insulting me as well. There was no way I was going to let someone walk all over me, regardless of their status. Either way, I can't take those words back, and I don't think I want to either. Now, all there is to do is wait for Neil, I suppose. How fun. Snow continues to fall around me. About 10 minutes later, I hear someone approaching. Their footsteps stop in front of me, and from the instant lack of snowflakes, I assume there's an umbrella above my head. I know it's Neil, so I don't bother looking up. I'm suddenly finding it very fascinating to stare at Neil's shiny, polished shoes. My heart is in my throat, and I cannot find the energy to say anything anymore. That was the most craziest, most ludicrous thing anyone has ever done for me. Neil closes his eyes and sighs. And I have Angela to compare to. Neil places his hand on top of my head, patting my hair. Pat, pat. But I guess I was waiting for that kind of crazy all along. Neil, oh, fuck. I look up at him, my eyes wide in surprise. He pulls his hand back before taking a seat next to me, making sure the umbrella keeps the snow away from the both of us. You're not mad at me? I ask. I didn't say I wasn't, he says. You got quite a mouth that likes to run off on its own. I glare at him. Takes one to know one. How many times have you opened your mouth and said horrible things? Don't remind me, he says bitterly. But why do you seem to lose your voice when it comes to your father? Why did you let him step on you like that? You're sharp and always ready when it comes to retort or witty remarks. It's different, alright? He pipes in. It's different because there's family, my family. They've always placed a tremendous amount of pressure on me to perform up to their standards. I love that laugh. Oh, I wish we could go back and hear it again. Neil then gives me a short, bitter laughter. Why do you think I ran away that time? Even as a child, I knew something wasn't right. You had more fighting spirit as an 8-year-old than you do now at 24, I say. Neil sighs, leaning forwards and placing his elbow onto his knee. I simply didn't want to disappoint them. Work hard, make them proud, and that's all I really wanted. No, it's not, I interject. That's not what you wanted. For God's sake, Neil, what do you think I stood up for you? Because I know you were miserable the way you were. I know you want to follow your passion, not be stuck in some stuffy hospital working for your tyrant of a father. Neil stays quiet for a bit, but he finally looks at me. His eyes hold a bunch of emotions, but I can't quite place them. There's a bundle of emotions swirling around in my stomach as well. Of all the things that didn't make sense, you're the one that makes the least sense to me, he says after a while. What do you mean? Why do you care so much? Neil twists his body around and moves closer to me. His face is next to mine, staring at me with those golden eyes. His gaze is taking my breath away. I've made nothing but bad impressions on you, he says. Said and done the things that are inexcusable. You certainly have the right. You certainly have that right, I say with a nervous laugh. So why are you always there when I least expect it? Always ready to come to my rescue? Neil keeps staring at me with those eyes, seemingly searching for answers. I'm inexorably drawn into them. I can't pronounce that word. He raises an excellent point. Why do I care so damn much about him, even though he's been quite horrible with me at certain points? Because I can see past these points. When the pretenses fall away, I can see Neil for who he is, the Neil who shows kindness towards others, the Neil who can laugh at silly things, the Neil that blushes a deep shade of red and becomes speechless. I can see that behind Neil's rude actions. He tries to hide this insecure side of him, the Neil that is scared of messing up and letting himself get hurt. And that's why he's always so quick to push me away, or to cover up his embarrassment with quick and sharp insults. The more I get to know Neil, the more I know how he ticks, and how he lashes out whenever he gets embarrassed, how he has enough courage to apologize for his own faults. And even though his ideas are somewhat twisted, he does care about the people that are close to him. He's still arrogant, he's still witty, and he always has a comeback ready, but this Neil? This is a Neil I like. I worry about him. I want him to be healthy. I want to protect him. I always wonder what he's doing. I want him to succeed. I want him to grow up and learn to live by his own choices. I want him. There's so many things I want to say that I end up speechless, not knowing how to convey them. Sometimes I really do think you have an ulterior motive for always involving yourself, grumbles Neil. Yes, my ulterior motives is for you to fall in love with me and marry me before driving you off a cliff and reap all the sweet benefits I'll get as the widow of a very rich man, I say in deadpan. Hey, isn't that pretty much what your father's impression of me? I wouldn't put it past you. I give Neil's shoulder a hard shove, jerk. Gold digger, he retorts back. That would imply you actually have some gold to dig for. Aren't you pretty much poor if your father ever decides to cut you off? Neil gives me a wry smile. He did. What? I draw a blank. I couldn't very well stay silent after your rampage. Rampage? I was not on a rampage. You want to see a rampage? Take me outside. Okay, never mind. We're already outside. Neil laughs at my expression. That was definitely a rampage, and you left behind quite a big wreckage. Everyone trembled before you. I refuse to let Neil get under my skin and look straight forward, trying to seem unimpressed. You should have stuck around. Then you would have known how it ended. Well, I'm here now. How did it end? Father was mouthing you off once you left. I had never seen him like this upset before. Not even on that day when I ran away. He was like a volcano that erupted. He kept mocking everything you said, everything you stood for, from your manners to your boutique. Well, that sounds nice, I say, defeated. I definitely succeeded in making Neil's father dislike me, but that's okay. I didn't like him either. I couldn't stand to listen to the things he was saying about you anymore. But don't you pretty much agree with those things, though? Neil flashes me a small smile. Until my father actually agreed with everything you said. Neil leans his head against my shoulder, burying his face in my hair as he's trying to hide. Boy, I'm pretty sure my hair is too short for that, but let's play with that. Everything you said, it was pretty much the truth. Angela has been trying to get me to stand up to my father for years now, but I couldn't. Never did. He almost gave me a heart attack when you attacked my father like that. I couldn't believe it. Once again, you showed me strength when I couldn't, exactly when we were kids. exactly like when we were kids. I stay quiet, letting him continue to lean on me for support as he explains what happened. He went on ranting, insulting you when you left. I was unable to stand it. I don't know why I was okay with my father saying such things about me, but you? I don't want anyone to speak ill of you, so I talked back. For once in my life, he mumbled against my hair. I could feel his hot breath tickle my neck. It's making me shiver. Oh, are we doing this? Are we doing this here? Yeah? Aren't you always speaking ill of me though, NIEL? I point out. I don't speak ill of you. I'd never. Speaking ill of me, insulting me, same thing. NIEL turns his head a bit, and his lips brush against my neck. It's giving me many tingles, so many tingles. I swear he's doing it on purpose. I'm sorry for the things I've said. I don't deserve what you did for me today. How about you thank me by treating me nicer from now on? No more insults, no more witty retorts thrown my way. No more shut your pretty little mouth. NIEL stays silent for a second before he lets out a small whine. But it's kind of enjoyable to see you react and retort to me in return. Oh my god, I fucking love this so much. Enjoyable. He finds my reactions amusing. I quickly pull away from NIEL entirely and he almost topples over from the sudden shift. He looks at me bewildered. Do you just admit you were saying those things to get a rise out of me? I say ninjily. I can't believe it. He really did. Motherfucker. NIEL chuckles. See? That's the kind of reaction I like. I feel my cheeks heat up. It's as if I'm playing right into NIEL's hands. Stop that. Stop being gleeful. NIEL simply laughs at me. NIEL! You can be cute sometimes, he adds with another chuckle. Great, now I'm definitely blushing. What's gotten into you all of a sudden? I wonder out loud. I'm not used to NIEL being like this. He seems more carefree. He's joking around. The other night, when we ate dinner together, I discovered a side of him I had never seen before, and now this? I can't decide whether I'm having a good day or a bad day, he says. Did your father really cut you off? I ask. It seems to be the most important question right now. Oh, I'm sure he's cutting me off. Oh, wait. I'm sure he's definitely cutting me out of any financial support. He hasn't said anything explicitly. That man was too stunned to reply once I thought I was through with him, but I'm sure he's already plotting my demise. Angela would have loved to be there. I know I would have loved to see NIEL standing up to his father. I'm almost sad I ran off after I said my piece without getting to see something this extraordinary. So what changes for you right now? I ask. It changes everything. It means that I'm free to do whatever I want. And don't worry, it's not like he can access my personal bank account. I'm not suddenly dirt poor and living on the streets. What did your mother say? She didn't say much, actually. She was pretty quiet throughout the entire thing. Once I was through with my father, all she said was to go after you. I gave him an unamused look. So you came here on your mother's orders? You little shit. NIEL casts his eyes down. No, I wanted to as well. Good. I don't want you chasing after me only because someone told you to. NIEL gives me a smirk. Are you saying you want me to chase after you on my own violation? Well, yeah, whatever. That worked. No, I say flustered, but maybe yes. You're a terrible liar. I bite down on my lips and avoid his gaze. NIEL makes a sudden movement, closing the distance between us again. His lips are near my ears, and his voice whispers. I've been I was reading, I looked at his face, and I was like, oh boy. I've been chasing you all this time, Meli. Haven't you noticed? Oh, damn. Boy. He quickly retreats and stands up from the bench, his back turned towards me. Snow falls down on me, and the safety of the umbrella gone with NIEL. I look at his back, and under the light of the street lamp, I can spot that tips of his ears are red against his black hair. I find myself blushing as well. My mind is a whirlwind right now. An hour ago, I was yelling at his father, and now, NIEL is saying that What is he exactly saying? Saying exactly? Is he cryptically trying to say that he's actually been chasing me all this time? My mind is jumping to all kinds of conclusions, but I don't want my imagination to work it out. I want to hear it from him. Chasing me? I decide to ask. You have a funny way of showing that. Neil quietly shuffles with his feet on the ground, not saying anything. He leans against the lamppost, scratching his cheek, playing aloof. Then I see him shrink. A bit, slumping down his shoulders and giving me a sigh. I may have done... He mumbles the last part, and considered he turned away from me, I can't catch what he's saying. I can't hear you, I say. I get up from the bench as well and move towards Neil. You know very well from the beginning, Neil mutters incoherently. You... Finally, I'm sitting next to Neil. I must have been very quiet because he jumps away in surprise. Neil composes himself, loosening the tie around his neck with his index finger. It seems Neil's face turns redder by the second. I want to tell him to get it out of with it already, but he is simply too adorable. Yeah, he is. Neil, you're usually so eloquent with your words. What's gotten you all tongue-tied now, I say. I want to rub it in his face that he's fumbling over his words. I definitely do not like that part of you, Neil grumbles. I'm sorry, but who's the one who admitted saying certain things to get a rise out of the other? For their pleasure? Wasn't it, you? It was, wasn't it? Ugh, let me finish what I'm trying to say already, he says. When he sees I'm not continuing my teasing, or basking in his embarrassment really, he clears his throat and tries it one more time. As I was trying to say, after you so rudely interrupted me, I'm not interrupting. It seems like I have inexplicably grown fond of you. He what now? He has grown fond of me? I'm sorry, was this supposed to be some kind of confession? And this how Neil explains his feelings? Hey lady, I've grown fond of you. Ugh, even in my mind it sounds ridiculous. I yank down on Neil's tie and he yelps in response as he gets pulled down to my level. I stare him down. I fucking love this song that's playing. Because I use that song for my videos too. You've grown fond of me. How about being a bit more clear? I gently push my lips against him to shut him up. My body zings in response and my heart is jumping around in my stomach somewhere. Neil's lips are cold but soft and full of passion. His fondness speech may have been lukewarm, but his lips are anything but cool. He pushes back against me, his lips smashing against mine, like he's been yearning for this, hungry for this, starving for it. But so am I. I wanted this. I wanted this so bad. I sigh against his lips, parting them. More air escapes between us until we're locked once more, with Neil's tongue coming out to play with mine because it is the middle of the night and it's so embarrassing. Our tongues clash like a whirlwind of fire as he grabs me by my waist. There's no hesitation in his actions. I could feel exactly what he wants by the way he kisses me. Well, I suck on his lips. I hope he can feel this is exactly what I want as well. My hands are running across the fabric. We are in the snow. I don't want to be a realist here, but we would be freezing. My hands are running along the fabric of his shirt on his back, pressing him firmly against me. The night is cold, but there is warmth inside of me that is growing hotter. Neil's lips feel amazing on mine. I don't ever want to let go. How indecent young people are these days, someone suddenly yells at us. How indecent young people are these days. We break your pride in the interruption, mortified to realize we're not exactly alone in the park and have been soaking each other's faces in public view. Both of us are taking big breaths to steady ourselves. I can't seem to look at Neil in the eye, and he seems to have the same problem. The ground suddenly becomes very interesting. Let me take you home. This park can be full of strange people at night. You don't want to run into them. Neil takes my hand and gently tugs me along. I wrap my fingers around his hand, loving the feeling of his, much bigger against mine. We walk side by side and make our way out of the park. My mind immediately goes into overdrive as his ground grows warmer to the touch. We just made out. Neil sort of confessed to me, we're holding hands, and not even an hour ago I was yelling at his father. I can't keep up with these emotions. It's all still so unclear, but this growing sensation inside of me, it's hard to ignore. It's been there, like a steady current, growing bigger and bigger, washing over me like a tidal wave. I look over at Neil, who's keeping quiet and holding the umbrella with one hand while gripping mine with the other. My heart clenches up. It's throbbing painfully. I quickly look away. No, it's It's not that unclear. I felt this way for a while now. Maybe even since all the way back to the masquerade party, when I was forced to realize that I had been attracted to NIEL all the while. I didn't want to admit it, but I didn't want to face my own growing feelings for him, because why would I even feel this way? NIEL has been nothing but hot and cold from the moment we met again at the coffee shop. And yet, I'm unable to stay away from him, and NIEL seems unable to stay away from me. I think Oh God, I say out loud and stop walking. NIEL stops as well. What's that? I think I've... No, it can't be. I cover my mouth with my free hand, shocked at my realization. Nothing, I managed to say. No way, there's just no way. What? Spit it out. Don't say, oh God, all of a sudden and stop walking without any sort of explanation. Say you love him. Oh my God. NIEL looks at me with a frown, waiting for me to say what's on my mind. I basically shake my head, hoping to shake off the blush that is now covering my cheeks. No way, I'm not going to say it. NIEL gives me an exasperated look. Moments ago, you couldn't keep your mouth shut, and now you decide to keep quiet? Well, that's because I just realized that I'm in love with NIEL. I can't let that bastard know. He'd grow even cockier, even more arrogant. He'd never let me forget. Why won't you tell me, he whines. Must keep mouth shut. I bite down on my lips and shake my head again. No way, I can't tell you. I'm not going to. NIEL's gentle gaze turns into a glare. Why can't you tell me, huh? Where are you fighting spirit now, huh? He says as if he's to challenge me. You bully seduced me with your lips, but words proved to be a challenge for you, he adds. I turn bright red. Seducing him? Are you really that at a loss for words? He smirks. Oh my God, I'm so excited I can't even read. The cocky bastard is enjoying this and I'm hating every second of it. I can't let him be this gleeful. My pride won't stand for this amount of smugness. I'm not. Fine. I love you. Ah, crap, I said. I fuck it. I have my face further in my hands. Horrified, I said it out loud. When NIEL doesn't respond with anything witty, however, I take a peek through my fingers and glancing at my left, where I assume he still is, he's standing still, looking straight ahead. I pull my hands away from my face. NIEL? I poke his shoulder. NIEL drops his umbrella as he dashes away from me before crouching down on the sidewalk, his arms covering his head, showing his very bright red neck. Oh, CG. Fuck yeah, I look at my silver hair. I love it. I love it. I love it. I am so happy right now because it has my silver hair. Like, that's best update ever. NIEL, I call out to him, a bit flabbergasted at his extreme reaction. NIEL lifts his head, his tiniest bit, so he can look back at me with his golden eyes. He looks so embarrassed. It's incredibly cute. My heart thumps against my chest, filling me with a glowing warmth. I pick up the umbrella and slowly walk towards him. It's my turn to shield him from the snow. He looks kind of pathetic, crouching down like that as if he's trying to hide from me. It reminds me of that day we met up in the cafe, when he tried to hide behind his laptop. It was so stupid, but also weirdly endearing, like right now. I can't pass up this opportunity to tease him, so I crouch to his level myself and lean in closer to his ears. NIEL, I love you, I whisper to him. High five to the voice actor who did this. I love this. He almost does a barrel roll forwards but catches himself before quickly standing up straight. I follow his movements with a smirk, basking in his embarrassment. I think I found the best button to push. What's wrong, NIEL? I ask innocently. He gives me this incredulous look, one of that seems to be screaming, "Are you for real?" He points at me with his index finger. Stop that. I take a step closer, my smirk growing wider. Stop what? Oh, saying that I love you. Stop. Another step closer. Why should I? I whisper. Face still buried in his hands, he looks to his right and grits his teeth like he's in pain. Stop lying to me like that. It's not good for my heart. Oh, does he really think I'm lying for the sake of teasing him? I tilt the umbrella a bit in order to get even closer to NIEL, our bodies almost touching. It's not a lie. I actually look away from this time. I may have only realized it just now. I swallow. but it's true. Neil's golden eyes are wide and conflicted. What? Even if you have the emotional rage of a toddler, even if your venomous words sting and hurt, even if I can never know if whatever comes out of your mouth is what you really meant to say. You don't have to keep insulting me, he barks at me. I guess I can't help but find you adorable. Besides, I'll admit that I can say some nasty things as well. Neil blinks at me, still not believing me. Of course, I prefer if you were a little nicer to me from now on. Say something, don't make me stand here wearing my heart on my sleeve all awkwardly and clutch the umbrella close to myself for support. Neil clears his throat before turning his face away from me once again. He seems to be incapable of looking at me directly when it comes to being honest with himself. Maybe my choice of words was a bit ambiguous, he admits. I'll try to express myself better. Express himself better? That would certainly help considering Neil is always hiding his thoughts behind snarky comments. He sighs. I have a hard time putting my feelings into words whenever I'm around you. Gee, really? I mock him. He reaches out for me, daringly, brushing my cheek with the back of his hand. I take in a breath as I get filled with excitement and anticipation. Ever since the day at your boutique, I've been attracted to you, and those feelings festered inside of me into something bigger. If I felt less and less in control every day. Despite being able to properly articulate himself this time, Neil's face is a deep shade of red, the blush even covering his neck and ears. I can tell that he's shivering, and it's definitely not because of the cold. It's cold, but not that cold. He's nervous. He's fidgety. These are all the new sides of Neil I haven't seen before. It became quite the mess when it's about you. It's hard to breathe, it's hard to think. I can never know. I could feel nervous, scared, and excited all at the same time. In the end, I'm having such a hard time managing my own feelings that I end up hurting yours. Mocking you, hurting you, that has never been my intention. I can't help but become a petulant child whenever I feel that fluttery chaos in my pit of my stomach. I'll lash out, my mouth runs off. Instead of trying to get along with you, my primitive brain thinks it's a great idea to act all high and mighty to make sure you all notice that I'm scared of these feelings you incite in me. Neil finishes his monologue while looking at me with these hopeful puppy dog-like eyes. My heart melts at the sight of him, and his words make my heart beat even faster. Essentially, Neil admits that he has feelings for me, and he lashes out because he was too scared in return. But I want you to notice me now, and if what you said before was no lie, then... He bumps his forward into mine. I can feel his warm breath on my face. It's comforting. He pauses for a little while, simply leaning against me for support. I think I love you too. Oh. A jolt of lightning surges through my body and my eyes are cracked wide open. I was in heavy denial before. It has only been a few minutes and I finally accepted I was in love with Neil, but I never suspected I would hear him say those words back to me. My legs feel like spaghetti noodles all of a sudden. My inner strength has left me. I can't believe we both confessed to each other. I could never have suspected this would happen when I woke up this morning. I expected to tell Neil's parents that I wasn't his fiancé, that I wasn't in fact anything to him. Yet here we are, foreheads touching, faces red with the snow falling quietly around us. And we love each other. I was teasing him before, commonly saying I love you, but now I suddenly find myself speechless. It's one thing to say it, it's another to hear it coming from him. I'll repeat whatever you said before. Please say something, don't make me stand here like a fool. I hold back an urge to smile. I want to say those weren't my exact words, but I decide against it for now. You're stupid, I say instead with a slight chuckle. I can already tell Neil's about to pull away in a huff, but I tilt my head, pressing my lips against his for a brief moment. But I seem to be in love with you, so no matter how stupid you are, fancy that. Neil growls out loud. Are you saying I'm stupid? I rub my free arm around his neck, lifting myself so I can kiss him one more time. Stupid. And Neil kisses me back, wrapping his arms around my waist. Then you're stupid for falling for this fool. He's nervous and fidgety, but his eyes are full of longing as he cups my face and brings himself closer to gently kiss me again. He pulls away after a sweet second, blinking his eyes at me and giving me a shy smile. Let's go home, he says. Yes, let's go home. Together. Okay, but like who's home? My home? Your home? Like which home? It's my home, isn't it? Save. Yeah, you guys are not. You have complete NIEL story. Chapter 28 is the epilogue. Will you release in the next update? Thank you for playing. What? All around me are forever. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for this update of NIEL's Chapter 27 NIEL story. Chapter 28 is the epilogue and will be released in the next update. Thanks for playing. Also, a new story has added, so we should probably go play that as well. But until next time. So thanks for watching, you guys. I'll put the link to download this game again, and until next time, bye. Johnny. Me and NIEL's adorable as fuck.